Hey, thank you for taking the time right now. And I wanted to ask you guys a few questions. Like before you started working with Real Estate Rainmaker, what were you guys doing before for advertising?
So we were doing our own Facebook ads to horrid results. I was about to give up on Facebook when I saw your webinar, and I watched that and I was like, oh, well, so if they can do it, then just let them do it because I can't. But we also do offline marketing, open house stuff, some direct mail stuff. We actually make a very custom product that we hand deliver to prospects, and it works well. Facebook ads have done better.
So we have husband and wife. We're a husband and wife team. We have two kids, both 6 and 8, one boy and one girl, and we have to dedicate time to them too. So trying to get a real estate business thriving up and off the ground from scratch, because we changed industries, and trying to sit open houses every single weekend, and the hand delivering and the, targeting foreclosures. There's just so many things that, is like crazy labor intensive, time intensive things that you can do to then get your business off the ground. And we've done that for about a month and a half with very limited lead exposure coming to us. And I say that meaning, I want to say we've scrapped together
30 about 30 leads.
30 leads. And that's sitting 5-hour open houses 2 days a week, every single weekend. Meanwhile, our kids are sitting there like, Mommy, Daddy, when are we going to go do something fun? And after spending $1,000 ad spend, wasting ad spend.
Spent $1,000 on Facebook ads.
No
zero leads came through.
When we did it ourselves.
I'm good at that, apparently.
But, we joined you guys, it's only been 3 days, and, can I quantify what we've had? I mean, I know you're probably gonna put a disclaimer on it, but right, because every lead base is different, right? But we didn't expect, when you say, oh, we guarantee X amount of leads a month, we've almost hit that in 3 days, and that's insane to me when we've been literally scratching for any lead we could possibly get over the last month and a half.
Well, and the lead quality is great too, because of the N leads that we've gotten, literally 33% of them are already moving to the next step. Either getting pre-qualified or a cash buyer ready to look, or sitting a listing presentation with us this week. So 33% of the leads that have come in have been not only good leads, but great leads.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I mean, the side benefit, which is actually more of a benefit that we didn't ever take in consideration, is what you mentioned, Natalie, is the family time and getting that back, really. So you don't have to sit these open houses potentially. I mean, of course we want the consistency, but even to us, like, we thank you because your lead handling skills are really good too. So yeah, but
like, you have to actually call people. So
yeah, that's an important aspect, is when we bring in quality leads, they're quality at the time of the lead. And you guys have done a phenomenal job calling them right on time upon arrival. So we commend you for that. Aside from that, can we talk about like the leads that you mentioned? You were getting into the story about like where they are in your pipeline in just 3 days.
Yeah. So without giving out numbers, like I said, 33%. Most of those are moving into pre-qual. We give them to our preferred lender, who loves us, by the way. He's like, whoa, that's a lot of work for me in the span of 48 hours. Mm-hmm. And then we had one cash buyer that wants to go look this weekend. And then we have one listing presentation happening tomorrow.
Boom, let's get it.
In 3 days, like
not even 2.5 days.
It's so literally, you guys, we signed with you, I think Friday.
Uh-huh.
Y'all spent a few days getting our system up and running, and then we've literally collected. This is now, we're into the third day of lead collection.
It started late Tuesday,
right?
And what's interesting is I'm a metrics guy. I run numbers, right, and I look for patterns and how I can exploit patterns. Our leads come in between 11:30 a.m. and 1 p.m. and between 4:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. Those of the leads, I'd argue all but maybe 2 came in those windows. So clear consumer pattern there. So it isn't like I'm gonna sit at my desk and wait for my phone to ring. I literally can go, I'm gonna go watch my computer for an hour and see what happens. Right? And because of the chat bots that you guys put behind the system, I'll get the text, I'll get the email, and then I'll open up my Facebook pages manager and watch the chat bot get all the hard information. And then I jump in at the end and go, hey, Ken's available right now. You want to talk? And they usually say yes. And I call them and I say, hey, okay, so it looks like you're doing this, that, and this, and you want to go here and this many things, and perfect. How about tomorrow? And it's really effective. Yeah. So if your market works like my market, figure out when they come in. And I have 2 days of sample data. This is not a long, drawn-out process I've done, but it's what I've noticed, and it's how I'm operating.
Now, as far as lead volume and velocity, like would you think you'd ever have found another place that could have got you this many leads this fast?
No, we've tried, and we literally have implemented how many processes to try to get them from different avenues, right? We sat open houses, we've targeted foreclosures, we look at FSBOs, we've done all these things, right? And like literal guerrilla marketing, right? You go out, you knock on doors, you try to talk to people, and
stuck in the 80s.
Yeah, but honest to God, that takes all kinds of time. We got our kids involved. My kid put on a bow tie and a freaking button-down shirt and was handing out, these cute little things that we were handing out, and just trying anything we possibly can to make it stick, right? You want to make yourself stand out apart from your competition, because there's so much competition, especially in this industry. So we've done hours of labors of love, right? Of trying to get everything off the ground. And to our avail, we got about 30 leads in a month and a half on our own.
Which is not nothing, right? No, I mean, in real estate, that's a fair number. But Facebook has done, percentage-wise, a whole lot better.
2 days, and you've already given us almost 30 leads.
Yeah.
Right. And sorry to put your son out of business in case we gave him an early retirement.
To focus on, and that's the thing. Like we're missing opportunities for practices. We're missing, sometimes one of us can't make it to a game because we're doing something real estate, and to get back some of that time by not having to harvest those leads ourselves is invaluable to me and to my family quality of life. To my kids. If anything, they thank you.
Yeah, I'll have to meet them sometime.
Yeah, we pay our 8-year-old son in Fortnite dollars. So,
so he's probably really happy. But then I really apologize. But would you recommend this to anybody else who comes across this?
Oh man,
I would recommend this to anybody not in the Sacramento market.
I figured that much. What do you say to them if they're on the fence?
Do it. It's. I mean, I'm skeptical. I'll try anything once, twice if I like it, right? But this is one of those things where I didn't even hesitate. I mean, I was on your webinar, and I almost signed up on the webinar, right? I mean, it was pretty lightning fast. I think I saw the webinar Thursday evening, and we signed up Friday morning.
And listen, I'm one of those very safe but sorry kind of girls. And I'm like, too good to be true. Right? But honest to God, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. And I'll tell you, I wouldn't have been sold immediately had my husband not already wasted $1,000 on Facebook ad spend that netted us 0 results.
Mm-hmm. It was $891. It wasn't $1,000. It was $891.
Okay. Almost $1,000. The point being that the results that you've produced in the first 2 days says to me that we're on the right track. The lead quality has been fantastic, and that's you can always go into, and we even signed up with a bunch of companies that they'll refer you over qualified leads, and then they take 35% of your commission at the end, right? Once you close them. Mm-hmm. And man, we've gotten some really crummy leads from them even, but your leads are even better than that. And you don't take 35% of my check at the end when I do all the hard work. Right. So on that regard, like, heck yes, you're missing the bus if you don't get in on this, because you guys' pricing, and we looked around at some other I want to say comparable
similar services.
And you guys are a great value And the ad content you write is fantastic and catching and compelling for people to then want to take action, which I think is great.
Well, and to that point, you know, I again, numbers guy, metrics. Our average lead cost in our Facebook ad metrics is $2 a lead, $2, which is phenomenal,
Yeah.
right? You know, $6-7 is reasonable. $2 is great. And of those $2 leads, I'm converting 33% in the first day.
Yeah, that's the number I really like, because even if the cost per lead was, let's say, as high as, let's say, I don't care what number it is, it's just the conversion and the ability that you've done with those leads. So that's the important part, because we've stressed that so much to our clients, is the opportunity. We can bring the opportunity to the table, but the follow-up is something we just don't have the ability to do, because we're lead generators. And we don't have a call center and people who know your market as well as you guys do. So you guys are awesome at literally jumping on the ball, and we're so pumped to work with people like you. And we would love to work with more people like you. So maybe
just not the Sacramento market,
unless they're on your team.
Yeah,
maybe not even it. You know?
So the one thing I will say is we found you on a Facebook ad, right?
Yeah.
We watched your webinar and it worked. You got our business.
Yeah.
And I find that the people that are finding us based on your ad campaigns are wanting to do business, and they want to be taken care of right away. And if you sit on a lead, well, somebody wants answers right now and you're not going to give them to them, they're going to go find someone else that's going to give them to you. So you kind of have to be on it and be like, oh, well, our phones are always connected to our hip. Well, Facebook's always connected on my phone. There's no reason why I can't pick up that Facebook message and turn it into an appointment, a prospect, something, you know?
Turn it into money.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's the ultimate goal.
Absolutely. Well, we got a lot more work to do. We got our follow-up monster that we now need to implement for you guys. And
we thought we could handle it all ourselves. And I'm quickly realizing that if the volume is coming in like this, that we are going to need that assistance.
Yeah. So follow-up monster, real quick. I got the download from Justin earlier, but we're diligent with our follow-up calls, and we make 10 or 12 calls per lead before we mark them as cold. But as we see leads come in, we realize that even with both of us on the phones for several hours a day, we can't manage the backlog, right? Like new stuff coming in, sure, all day I can make that stuff, but stuff that's 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 days old,
you need to continue touching all those people.
Those are dying faster than I would prefer, because I don't have time. And I don't want to hire a full-time ISA to make phone calls for me. I don't need a call center for that. I want to be personal there. So with Follow-Up Monster and being able to touch those people in my voice from my phone number with my email signature, that's huge. And again, taking back family time, right?
Right.
So if I can hit 1,000 contacts in 15 minutes, not 15 hours, that's better.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you guys for the time right now. I really appreciate you guys doing this.
No worries. Anytime.
All right. Well, have a great rest of the day. And if you guys need anything from me, you know how to find me.
Thanks so much. You guys have been very responsive, and I appreciate that too. Onboarding into a new system, you're always kind of skeptical or leery if you're having issues or there's bugs to work out. You guys have always been lickety split on the response time and trying to remedy things that weren't quite fixed right or whatever. So we appreciate that too.
Yeah. I mean, and also last thing is just to touch on, we've pretty much hit like our quota for the lead commitment in 3 days. And
I know.
we still have 27. We still have 27 more to go. So we'll continue to proactively manage things. And
don't turn off our account now that you've got like your stuff is done.
No, we don't shut it off. Especially on our tribe. You guys are a family now.
But I was talking to Cody on Facebook Messenger at like 11 o'clock last night, trying to get some things squared away.
Right. So, that's what I'm saying. You guys have been incredibly responsive, even at all hours of the night.
Yeah.
So I think we got to lower expectations at some point.
No, I like where they are. Just keep where they are.
Well, we're going to constantly try to we're always going to do our best to over-service, over-deliver, and keep expectations realistic. And that this is the conversations that we know we're capable of having time and time again. And we appreciate everything you guys have done for us too.
No worries, man. Anytime.
All right. Take care. Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.